Hello and welcome to a Fro to Go Reviews. And today you can see we have a slightly different layout than what was before, but we're trying something new in terms of the way it's set up. And so we're gonna go ahead and get into first of all getting our baseball game in order before we begin the um, the review session that we'll be doing today. Um, just to give you a review of what has been happening here with the baseball stars is I have started a fresh game of baseball stars, and which means that the team that I'm using is a very basic team. They have some skills, but they're not like a quality team. And so I start off with a team. Here's my team here, the Giants Hall of Fame team. And I have a couple players that I know that I'll have on my team moving into the future. But then a lot of these players will actually be replaced by better players. So that's kind of the theme of this game is that you can power up your guys and get better as you go along. So in the background, that's what I'll be doing in this particular review. We'll be playing the Baseball Stars game um, while I am um, doing my review. And this particular review, live stream review, will be on both the song by Bruno Mars, Anderson Paak, and Silk Sonic, "Leave the Door Open." If you haven't heard it yet, please do so ASAP. Um, as my review will indicate, you will want to listen to that song. And then the other review will be on the sequel to Coming to America, which is Coming to America, featuring Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and pretty much the original cast of Coming to America, which was 30 years ago. So that is the outlay of that. Let me go ahead and get started on the game. Let's play against the lovely ladies, and we'll do it where I'm the home team, which means that this could go one inning and that's the end of the game. We'll see what happens. Let's put in. We'll leave it the way it is. Okay. So, first thing I want to talk about is the. Whoa, do it to second first. Oh, not a good play. All right. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the. And I would like any feedback if you would like any kind of feedback on what your. Oh, man. What your review of these type what your review. Oh, she got me. This is a girls team. What your review would be of any of the things that I'm reviewing as well. I would like your feedback as well. If you've heard the song "Leave the Door Open" or if you've seen "Coming to America" the sequel, I would be happy to hear your feedback on those two recent releases. So that would be great to hear as well. But I am going to go ahead and review on here. Oh my gosh, no defense out in left field. Not good. Um, so first of all, first and foremost, we'll go with the song first. "Leave the Door Open." Um, and the reason why I want to review the song first is because both the song that came out, and it came out in the last few days, and "Coming to America" are two um, forms of entertainment, music and movie that I think everybody is looking for. Um, and here's what I mean by that. I mean that we are longing for quality music. We've been longing for quality music for some time now. That's not anything new. It seems as though the music industry does right now tend to skew towards first and foremost um, whatever is getting the most likes on something. And I understand that I understand 100% how a specific artist who is out there right now, we'll say Drake, for example, will be will have an easy time of getting the initial likes of any song that is released because of his stature and he's already established in social media and so he automatically gets a certain amount just based on his stature. Um, but what's happened lately in the music industry is the likes themselves. We've got to. I believe that instead of determining the music by the ears of the people, I think it should be more so the artists themselves defining the era's music. And that hasn't happened for such a long time, where the artists themselves control what the music is. It has been for the recent time that the the artist plays to the crowd, and in a way that is, especially if the crowd is somewhat tone deaf, that is at their concert, they're not going to get the right music out of themselves. So that's kind of one of the issues that's been going on lately is that musicians have played just kind of down to the level of what people have been wanting out of their sound. And so it's important for us to actually get around each one of these artists and not hold them to a level of accountability in terms of what the sound is like, oh, you're not doing the right thing for the sound of today, but instead allow them the opportunity to create whatever sound it is. Oh man, I didn't think they were going to catch that. Whatever sound that is that let me get a quick drink. Whatever sound that they would create for this time, and that is to me is more important because they themselves are the ones who are ultimately going to dictate how our music goes. So, having said that, the song that I'm speaking of, "Leave the Door Open," has a very classy sound to it, has a very nostalgic sound to it, has a very soulful, really quality production, quality writing, quality singing by Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak and the Silk Sonic. But it didn't sound dated at all. It didn't have any thought that this is going to be, out of here in the next week. It actually sounds like it's a classic record right now, like it was released 40 years ago, but it was just released, and it also has an upbeat up to now feeling to it as well, with some of the the lyrics in it. So I definitely recommend 100% listen to that song, and you'll have it on repeat, or you'll have it in your playlist pretty soon, because as far as a rating on it, I give it actually a 9 right now, because we've been so wanting this type of music for such a long time. Like, we've been wanting to hear in this case, these two artists who are already quality on their own in their own worlds, they actually pushed each other in this song. They pushed each other in lyrically. They pushed each other, in a musical sense. So this is what we've been waiting for and looking for. Stayed up for a while now. So I definitely 100% recommend Leave the Door Open again. Um, uh, by Anderson Paak, Bruno Mars, and Silk Sonic, and they are coming out with more music other than this. So if this is the start, if this is the here, listen to this, I can't imagine what the future holds for whatever other music is going to be coming out. Everybody likes Bruno Mars. I've never heard anybody say that they haven't listened to a Bruno Mars song and where they've said at least one of his songs where they've said, "Oh, I know that song and I love that song or I like that song." There's at least one out there. So I definitely and Anderson Paak is an up and comer as far as his musicianship. And his flow is really there. His rhythm is really there. So I definitely love these two artists coming together and making this song. So definitely recommended. I hope that I hope that it blows up and that this is the type of music, really honestly, that we have been desiring for a long time now. And that's one of the things that we need to do now as the streaming and or purchasing public is make sure that when these artists do release this music, I know that everybody's lives busy, and it's I know I wasn't trying to bunt that. Everybody's lives are busy, and you sometimes don't get to things. Well, that's kind of what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to become. I'm not saying that I have a lot of free time, but I do a lot of things that involve being around the computer, so I can have music and movies and all those type of things going on in the background. And I would like to be one. Oh, that's going to be at least I'm going to stay a second. I would like to be one who is credible enough of a reviewer of different things to bring that to your attention. You have a life that is definitely whoever whatever life you're leading right now. You've got a lot of stuff going on, and sometimes you need somebody who you could vouch for that will bring to attention to specific things. I would love for I've had friends of mine who told me, okay, to watch The Office. Okay, they said, "Hey, you need to watch The Office." I don't know if it was time for me to watch The Office, to be honest with you. I don't know if it was the right, like, if I started watching The Office now at the right time. But I kind of now I'm like, dang, I wish somebody had taken and shook me and said, "Hey, watch The Office." I'm not saying it's dated. It's still held really well. I loved the series. We watched it from front to back all the way through in about 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, something like that. We did the same with Schitt's Creek all the way through. But I would like there to be more of that, where there's somebody who that you could value their opinion, who says, "Hey, watch this," and you can get the same experience that I got out of whatever it is or was that I watched. One of my favorite things for anybody who watches this, one of my favorite things to do is to bring someone to Disneyland. And it's not because I want to go on all the rides. My most enjoyment comes when the person is walking up to the ramp or to the after they get through the ticket booth, and they see the train, and they go around and they see everything, the lights and the that's what I like to do, is the presentation part. I can't believe it's still 2-0. I got to score. But anyway, the presentation part is the part that I like in going to Disneyland. I love bringing new people there. I like seeing the glow in the eyes of the individual who's going there. So this rings true with me when it comes to entertainment as well. I enjoy when I see something and I either while I'm watching it, I know, ooh, that was a good play. I know right away that this person would enjoy that and I can't wait to tell them about to watch this. Or after I'm done, maybe I have 3 or 4 people that I know that would get benefit from watching it. So that's kind of why I made this channel, and I know that in the future, hopefully the things that I share are things that you maybe have seen before or listened to before or eaten before, but maybe not, and it'll give you an opportunity to experience that as I did. So, having said the quality glowing things about "Leave the Door Open" by Anderson .Paak, Bruno Mars, and Silk Sonic, I am now going to review for you the Coming to America, the sequel, coming and with the number 2, America. Oh, man. And so, if you haven't seen it yet, I am not going to go into like a really deep detail as far as scenes or anything like that, but I am going to mention that there is a minor duplication of certain themes that came out in the first one. So I will say that. Okay. So in Coming to America, obviously there is an utmost of anticipation to see a movie like this. We those that grew up in my era and watched the original film, when it was heard that this movie was going to come out, there was a definite anticipation for it. So no doubt about that. Now, one of the things that I was worried about, and I think that it did come into play with the movie, is time. Not time in terms of time. I mean time available to fit in what they need to fit in a movie as grandiose as a Coming to America film that has a lot of characters, a lot of veteran actors and actresses who may or may not, have been in the movie. Had there, been, I'm gonna let this guy go the whole game. Had they, in the original movie, had they not been an unknown person at that time, because to be honest, Eddie Murphy is one of the reasons why most of those people in their careers went and did other things, is from appearing in a movie like Coming to America that he had, other ones that's Posey hitting the 2-run jack, other ones like Boomerang where Chris Rock is in it, and other who are minor bit characters in those movies, and then they go on to become big stars, and it's because of that exposure and that beginning that is given in those movies. And this movie here, the original Coming to America, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a 9.2 on my scale. Right now, I'm telling you that the original, before I even watched the second, the sequel, 9.2 on the scale for me on the original Coming to America. That's not calling it a Oscar-worthy performance by anybody or Academy Award winner or anything like that, but on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as pictures are concerned, with the comedy and all of the how good that movie was, I give it a 9.2. Now, the new film, featuring most of the same cast, the mother in the original film has passed, so she wasn't in this picture, and I didn't see Eric LaSalle, Soul Glow, I didn't see him in this particular one either, but almost everybody else returned for the new movie. Um, and I have to say that casting, uh, uh, makeup when they used it, things that the the quality of the scenes, the atmosphere, the landscapes, all of the scenes were really well made, location wise and all that. So I had no issue with that part of it. Now, going back to what I was talking about as far as time is what I ended up having an issue with. The original movie coming out 30 years ago and having all of those different characters that need a little bit of time on screen, that would have been enough, like enough of a squeezing in the movie. However, what they ended up doing in addition to trying to get everybody their little run, their little part, they also tried their best to bring the audience that didn't see the first film into the kind of giving them knowledge and giving them a background on the original movie. And the problem is that with this movie, with the carryover effect of this movie, meaning the people who were going to watch this movie, I would say 90% of them are most likely going to be people who watched the original movie already, and they're back to see the characters. And I think that really they ran into the problem of not enough time, and being one who watches who watches the Cobra Kai series, which is a very, very well made, very, very well put together series. You're not given the amount of time. Oh, get out of here! Get out of here! Yes, he gets the complete game. 11-0. You don't get the time to give to each character, as well as to go back and do the harkening back and the story and explain what happened in the original movie. There was some cutscenes that they had to show based on the new direction that the film that the characters went in, but my issue wasn't with that. My issue wasn't with showing different old scenes for the purpose of that. It was more so explaining things too many times in the movie to give us an idea of why this happened or that happened. There was just too many of those, and it took a little bit too much time. And so, having said that, what I would have liked to have seen, to be honest, is if this had turned into a 4-episode like miniseries where you would have you would have enough time in each one of the scenes or the episodes an hour long. 4 hours would have been perfect for this particular movie, turning it into a little series. And what's funny is that it's a little known fact that Eddie Murphy did try a series based on the characters in the Coming to America movie way back when it was going to be a series. I heard about this a couple years ago. I actually have been able to see there's a video on YouTube somewhere where the actual original lead character in the series was going to be played by Tommy Davidson, who ended up going on and being in Living Color, and was a great comedian, comic actor, and a good stand-up comedian as well. But he was going to be the lead character in a new series based on Coming to America. And they did shoot a couple, I think one episode or a pilot. They shot one, and that was it. That's the only one I saw. I think there might have been one. There might have been one or two, but the character, it was just a very. It looked like it was just a quickly put together series after the success of the original Coming to America. But having said that, I would have loved to have seen a place like Amazon Prime put a little bit more money into it and allow for there to be a series, a 4-part series, that mini series similar to the New Edition mini series, and Bobby Brown had a mini series and things like that. It just gives a little bit more time for the nostalgia, which needs to happen a little bit. I agree with that 100%. But also it gives the it just lets it breathe a little bit, and the characters, the new characters, and even the old characters in this particular movie would have had an opportunity to breathe a little bit more with their new. It's been 30 years, and really some of the characters weren't utilized whatsoever. You saw glimpses of things in each character, but what I would say is that this is my overarching review, and what I would say. First and foremost, I gave the original a 9.2, and I give the new version a see how I made him come home. I give the new version a 7.2. Okay, it's a pretty hefty drop. Okay, I admit that. It's a pretty hefty drop. But here's my caveat to that. I'm going to caveat that. It's a 7.2 right now, and the original was a rated R picture, and this picture was rated PG-13. I'm not saying that I have to have. It's necessary for me to have a vulgar humor in a movie. However, when you set the standard as the original did, with what it actually, the feeling it had. Oh, he struck out. Wow. The feeling it had, and just the overall, edginess. The edginess. I'm going to say edginess. That's important sometimes in movies. And this particular movie, it kind of lost a bit of that edginess. Because it's a PG-13, there were some swear words here and there, but you just don't know for sure, if particular, like, where the characters are going to be confined to in this movie. Because it's PG-13, there is some barriers, some guardrails there. So that's kind of one of the things, and that's okay. I don't see that as an issue if you want more eyes on it, because a PG-13 movie is going to get, a lot more eyes on it than a rated R movie is, especially streaming. Morally, everybody's going to watch it if it's on, even if it's rated R, even I would watch it. Some of the kids would watch it nowadays too, but morally, you're not supposed to watch it if it's rated R, and especially if you have any kind of if you are a minor under 18, and there are some settings that have stopped you from watching it. So PG-13 movies would open up another 5 years of people watching it. So I could see where that is a good thing. I also believe that one of the other things that occurred in the making of this movie was the creators, the Eddie Murphy and the producers and the directors and the actors have all obviously gotten older and have gotten more and more family and kids and grandkids and things like that, and they want them to watch it too. So I can understand where you don't want all of your movies to not have the I could have gotten that one more run and that would have been over. You do want to be able to experience some of your movies with some of your family members too. So I can understand that as well. I get it. but in comparison to the original, that's where I have an issue with that. I have an issue with that because that's the reason why it's going to get basically a 2 full. Can't believe this. It's going to get a 2 full point drop off based on the fact that it's being compared to the original, but more importantly, it's also being it's been so long. A sequel that comes out a couple years after it's made, mediocrity, is okay because you still know the characters and you've been away from them you haven't been away from them too long, so it's not disappointing if they hurt you bad. If not hurt you bad, but if they've changed, because you think the character's supposed to be like the one in the movie or in the original movie, and there's some things that some of the characters do that you're like, that's not. I don't think that they would, in 30 years they would do that. But it's hard, it's really hard to make a movie 30 years after and fill in all the blanks and make it in an hour and 50 minutes or an hour and 45 minutes or whatever it was. So again, this game is about to be over, and that's what I'm going to end this particular stream. So I want to finish this off by saying that the way that this particular movie, will possibly change my mind about it is if they release a uncut version of it, maybe because this version's an hour and 45 minutes. They could probably easily get with what they shot, with all of the people that they had on location, all those amazing actors and actresses and comedians over that were there. I'm sure that they probably can get a good another hour. Man, how do I not score in that inning? Okay. They could probably get a good hour out of out of whatever they can find that was cut. And that particular version, that guy stole it on me. That particular version may not be PG-13, but it probably would then accomplish what this particular movie wanted to accomplish, which is to get all of the original fans, all the original fans to bust up laughing, like bust a gut laughing. And that's really what did not happen in this movie. You got chuckles. What I'll say is I definitely smiled for almost the entire movie, which is a good thing. I definitely smiled almost the entire time because a lot of the characters themselves, were it was good to see them back. Good to see certain people, being healthy and having, just good to see them back, man. So there were smiles throughout, but no bust the gut laughs. Maybe one or two where there was more than your typical chuckle. But growing up, an Eddie Murphy movie, and I know that things have changed over the last number of years, but an Eddie Murphy movie there was at least a couple, like 5 to 6 parts where you might have to pause it after after a joke or something because you might miss the next part because you're laughing so much. And I didn't have to do that in this particular movie. So, that's where I think that an uncut version of this movie coming out, even if it's that's a good throw. Even if it's a uncut version that they need to kind of, like I said, put into more of a series type of thing or episodic where you have parts, I would be fine with that. but I think that that's what's necessary for this movie to improve. And if they do that, I could see moving it up into that, that 8.5 maybe range, high eights. If that particular, if they have good stuff, but I would assume that they do. I have to say that they do. So I'm going to end this inning. I'm going to end this game in this inning right now. The other thing, oh man, a bunt. The other thing that can also improve this, or this can be a springboard for, is the characters in the movie, the ones that they brought aboard, which included Eddie Murphy's real life daughter, played one of his daughters in the movie. They all contributed in very, very good ways. So I can see a there's the game. I can see a sequel actually coming off of this, which would be interesting to see, is if they, going from a movie that was fantastic, a 9.2 in my eyes, to a movie that was mediocre in my opinion. I would say definitely mediocre, 7.2. That can improve based on if they decided to, like I said, release the uncut version. But also, this could lead to a sequel from it, because some of the characters seem to actually leave for there to be a future for them. If they decided to do something like that, I could see that happening. And if they did that, the next movie could be actually better than this one. I know that sounds weird to say that they had a sequel that didn't do as well as it should have, and that should have a sequel, and that one probably would be better. But I honestly think that could happen in this case, based on the fact of how how the characters can be filled out. I think that's one of the problems is that there was a little bit just of a compactness done to the characters' personalities, and it didn't expand them at all. So I would say that that's the review. 7.2 now, with a possible future of an 8 to an 8.5, maybe to somewhere in there, if they release the uncut version. With all the filler stuff, all the gags, all the stuff, and then there could be a sequel that comes off of this that they end up having that could do better than this one. So there's nothing wrong with coming out with something that is mediocre. But the one thing that I would like to have seen is obviously them really, really working their best at not worrying so much about, hearkening back to the past and trying to get, people to understand the original movie, because if you're there already. You've already seen the original movie. So that's one thing that I would say that took up a little bit too much time. Okay. Other than that, great movie, or the original movie was a great movie. The cast is a great cast. The writing was actually done really well. Again, it just is not enough time, and that's where I want to see them possibly do something about that. So, other than that, we're going to keep that one. Other than that, the next review that we're going to be doing, that you're going to be seeing on the channel, is going to be my first review of the Donut series. I actually have one that's going to be released in the next couple days after I get it all edited and everything. It is going to be a review of, it's kind of like a prequel, I would say, to the real Donut series that's going to start in the next couple weeks. This is actually a review of a cinnamon bun, okay? And or cinnamon roll, I should say, and a 7-Up bundt cake, mini 7-Up bundt cake from Walmart. Okay, so it's a prequel to the real donut series. This is one that's going to be kind of a what they're going to be about and what the ratings will be, and kind of give everybody an idea what those will be. So other than that, I thank you very much for joining me. I will be on again probably tomorrow or the next day. The Just so you know, the Saturday Night Live is live tonight. It's new. It's on at 8:30. If you want to watch it, I'm going to be watching it. I think it's maybe the last one of this season. I'm not 100% sure, but I will be back with you soon, and that does it for me. And you guys take it easy, and thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you tomorrow.